Are you working 60 hours a week and you still don't feel like you're taking home proper money? Feeling like everyone else is getting paid before you and you're just taking what's left over? What if I told you that with a $2 increase in your numbers, you could make an extra $100,000 per year? This one strategy has added hundreds of thousands of dollars in restaurants across the world. And if you're ignoring it, you're leaving major dollars on the table. In this video, that's what I'm going to show you how to do. Now, I've got some bad news for you. This whole entire industry has been lied to. The answer isn't bringing in more customers. In fact, it couldn't be further from the truth. You've been told your whole career that more customers will just fix my problem. I just need that great staff member, and then I just need 100 extra customers per week, and my whole life will be different. And it's a lie. You don't need more customers. You just need more money from the customers that you already have. And it's the simplest way to change your bottom line. Before we go any further, what I want you to understand is that there's 3 ways to make more money inside your business. And the first is bringing new customers. It's the number one thing that all the restaurant marketers around the world focus on. Oh, we're going to get to this many new customers and your life's going to be better. The second way, reduce your expenses. Okay, so cost of goods sold, food cost, labor cost, reduce our labor cost, and our overheads, our fixed costs. So we can either bring in more customers or we can reduce our costs. And the last one, and this is what we're going to talk about today, is we're going to make more money from the people we already serve. And to be frank, it's the simplest strategy to get movement straight to your bottom line. First of all, if you're already working 40, 50, 60 hours a week inside your business, you need to fix that because you as a leader need to lead. The second thing is we need to fix the amount of money our current customers are spending on us. Once we do those two things, we can focus on lowering our expenses and driving a more efficient business model. And once we have that sorted, we can double down on bringing more customers in and maximizing the profit we already have. But if you're already doing 50, 60 hours a week and you're not currently making money, and then we bring in another 100 customers or we double our customer numbers, you're going to find your system's going to break. If we want to make an extra 100K inside of our business, we're going to focus on bringing more money from our current customers. How we're going to do that, stick around and I'm going to show you. Let's think about the numbers on this before we go any further. So number of transactions a week, we base this on 1,000 and we base the average spend on $20, which gives you a $20,000 turnover per week, which is about $1 million business. So $20,000 a week by 50 weeks of the year gives us $1 million in revenue. Now, we're going to sit that at a 7% profit margin. You might be making a lot more than 7%. Great for you. This theory is still going to work. You might not be making any percent, and that's fine as well. That theory is going to work for you. But from where we sit or what we see coming through the industry, 7% is about the average. If we don't bring in any extra customers, and still only have our 1,000 customers a week, and we lift our spend by $2 per transaction, we end up with an extra $2,000 a week. Now that goes straight onto our revenue line. At $2,000 a week by 50 weeks, that's an extra $100,000. My question to you is, do you need any extra staff for those $2? No. Are there any extra fixed costs? Do you have to pay extra rent? Is your power bill going to change? No. Do you have to change your opening hours so we need to bring in more staff? No. We might have some extra food costs. Call that food costs to say, I'll even go 30% because you might be running 30%. These things aren't going to cost you 30%, but all of a sudden we end up with an extra $70,000 a year to our bottom line. I want you to think about this. There's an extra $70,000 a year straight to our bottom line by changing these transactions by only $2. So all of a sudden we go from 70K to $140,000 a year profit, and we haven't brought in any extra people. And just say we increased our customer numbers by an extra 50 customers a week, which is 5%. That's 5% on 1,000 customers on $22 per transaction. We're increased to our rate. That's an extra $1,100 a week in revenue. 5% increase, not very much, but it's extra $1,100 a week in revenue. Do you need any extra staff for an extra 50 customers? No, it's probably 1 customer per hour. So no extra staff. We've got any extra power, any extra overheads, no extra fixed costs. So that's another $55,000 a year. 30% food costs leaves us $38,500. So then we're going to add an extra 38K on. 140K plus 38K, $178,500 in literally just 2 things. And we haven't done any marketing or any advertising. I just want to say that you've been lied to your entire life. It's not about bringing in more people. It's about understanding the way the math works. And that's why this is so powerful. Now, I know what you're going to say. Yeah, cool, man. That's all good in theory. You can sit here and write on your fancy notebook in front of a camera and tell us what to do in the mass. What do we do next? How do we implement it? Okay, so step 1, I want you to go to your POS POS system, and I want you to print out your top sellers to your least top sellers over the last month. So what we should end up with is we should have every single menu item on the list with the number of times it's been sold. That's what we want to understand now. Then we're going to pick the top 5 and you're going to cost out those dishes. Now, hopefully you're recosting your dishes minimum every season, every month, depending on the price changes, and also depends on your restaurant size. If you're not doing it once a year, you need to have a hard look at what's going on, especially if you want to make more money. But I want you to take the top 5 and I want you to reprice them, okay? We want to make sure that those items are the most profitable items inside of our business. And once we know that those items are the most profitable, then we want to pick 1 or 2 items that are going to become our upsell items. So what else can we add? How can we enhance this dish? What else can we partner with this dish to make it better? Now, I want you to think about this from a house guest experience. If someone comes to your house and they come in and they dine, and say they're coming over for a coffee or a tea, come in, they sit in there, and you might be a mad tea collector. So you got all these different teas. I'll just have a tea with you. Great. What tea do you want? Oh, I don't know. What tea do you have? Okay, I've got this amazing tea from somewhere in South America and it's phenomenal. You should try it. Do you want your house guests to have the best experience? Say you had another family coming over for dinner and you're having a steak. What do? You have greens, you have sides. You just want the people in your house to have the best possible experience. You don't think about how much you're charging them because you don't charge it. They're your guests, they're your family, they're their friends, they're the people you love. Your customers are no different. So it'd be rude if we just gave our customers one dish. We actually want to make sure we're enhancing their experience as best as possible. And this is where most people miss out. If you're at a coffee shop, you go and order coffee, great. What other things can we do to enhance their customer experience? Maybe it's hey, we've baked these amazing cookies today. Would you like to try one? Or you might own a bar and someone comes into the bar and orders, say, a gin and tonic. And instead of just giving them normal house gin and tonic, maybe it's a conversation around, so I've noticed you ordered the house gin and tonic. We've just got in this amazing gin and it's made right here in Texas. It's locally made and the guys actually live here in Austin as well. And you should try it. Would you like to give that a go? If you're in a cafe and the smashed avos and the oat milk lattes or the vanilla ice lattes, if you serve a lot of 16-year-old girls are flying out the door, what else can you be adding? Maybe it's a hash brown. We want to make sure that we're pairing dishes with their other dishes or we're pairing add-ons to make sure we're enhancing our customers' experience. And now we want to indoctrinate our team. So now it's time to sit down and have a team meeting. And the team meeting starts like, hey guys, are we really thinking about how we can enhance our customer experience and talk about the example of the house guests when someone comes over for dinner? Do you make sure that they're happy? Yep. Do you want to make sure that they have the best possible experience? Yep. Do you offer them dessert? Yeah, I do. Do you not think that when people come inside of our business, we want to make sure that we give them the best possible experience? I want to make sure that every customer we get gets a house guest experience. And if you're in a tipping country, then you can do the maths for these guys as tipping, because the other thing is that an extra $150,000, an extra $3,000 a week in revenue will equate to another 20% on top of that in tips for your team. Get our team's buy-in on this. Get their feedback. They'll have a bunch of different ideas. They might even have ideas that you haven't thought of yet. But it's really important that you think of ideas and then indoctrinate your team. And I promise you, if you do this the right way, it's also going to help your culture. This one strategy has added hundreds of thousands of dollars in restaurants across the world. And if you're ignoring it, you're leaving major dollars on the table. Don't be fooled into the myth of need extra customers to change my life. You can do it literally with the business that you have. You're sitting on a gold mine. Once you go and implement this stuff and start seeing results, you'll start seeing extra money in your bank, which will free up some extra time. So then you can focus on lowering those expenses and bringing in more customers. This isn't a nice to have, it's the missing link between struggling and scaling.